Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, the Lone Vault Wanderer, and welcome to a Fallout 4 video. I know many of you that are subscribed to me look forward to these Fallout 4 videos, so I want to try and still do them here and there. But if you take a look at my channel recently, I've diversified a lot. I'm doing Bioshock videos, I'm doing Borderlands videos, Dishonored 2, many other games, and this is really important in terms of the future sustainability of my channel and future prospects of my channel's success. So I'd really appreciate it if you actually support those other videos based on other intellectual properties. It would really mean a lot to me if you have been a fan of my channel and want to see me grow on YouTube. The links to some of those other videos, including the one on Borderlands 3, are in the description below. Please check them out, I would really appreciate it. So the question for today's video, what kinds of experiments would you perform with no restrictions in Vault 88 as part of the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC in Fallout 4? Let me know in the comments below. So tomorrow, Vault-Tec Workshop is out for Australia. Unfortunately, North Americans and Canadians, you're going to have to wait another day, but Australians and New Zealanders get to experience Vault-Tec Workshop first, unless you change your geographic settings on Steam. And there was an article the other day on Bethesda.net about this Workshop DLC and what it actually brings to the table, and something that pleasantly surprised me, which has actually gotten me fairly excited for this piece of DLC now, and I probably wasn't as much beforehand, is the fact that this DLC is actually going to have a story element and a narrative element to it. And there seem to be a number of different quests that go along with it. And if you check the article in the description below, but I'll also read the main points to you, probably the most exciting thing for me personally is the fact that we can run experiments on our vault dwellers. So let me explain this in full, and then I want to talk about the kinds of things that I would like to see in these experiments that we can run on the dwellers. So the article starts by saying, if you're above level 20, you'll hear a distress beacon no matter where you are in the world, alerting you to an emergency situation at Vault 88. Once you arrive and take care of some raiders who are trying to force their way in, you'll meet the Vault's rather strange overseer. The only surviving resident of Vault 88, she's been trapped down here alone and has turned into a ghoul. In fact, the bombs went off before her vault could be completed, and she spent the last 200 years waiting to build it, but that hasn't discouraged her loyalty to Vault-Tec, and she can't wait to run some experiments on unsuspecting dwellers. That's where the Vault-Tec Workshop quest really kicks in. You'll start off by interviewing some potential new settlers, searching for the perfect subject for all your nefarious tests. From there, you'll be tasked with running a series of experiments, each with different outcomes, depending on the choices you make. Will you be a benevolent leader, or a cruel tyrant, or maybe somewhere in the middle? Your choice of test parameters will affect the final version of each experimental object, so think carefully. Whatever you end up crafting for your experiment will be permanently added to the workshop, allowing you to build it whenever you want. So based on my understanding of this description, this DLC seems to enable us to choose from a number of different experiments that are built into the DLC, and choose that particular experiment for our vault moving forward. However it goes down, I don't really mind whether it's one or multiple, at least we get to test multiple experiments here. But what I'm really looking for is us to be able to perform some fucked up experiments. We all know what Fallout vaults are like. They are fucked up situations with fucked up experiments, and I want to be able to do the exact same. Some of the gruesome and eerie and scary stories that have taken place in some of the vaults in Fallout's history have been absolutely incredible on a storytelling basis, but nevertheless still pretty fucked up. But that's what makes Fallout Fallout. It's these fucked up situations that we encounter when we stumble upon a vault that, if we're actually going to be building a vault of our own, we should be able to have those options in that regard. We should be able to have experiments that are truly fucked up, that are on par with some of the other experiments that Fallout has had in the past. And I've actually collated together some of the most gruesome and fucked up experiments that Fallout has had in the past, and I'll describe them to you right now as a way to explain some of the fucked up shit that I want to do with this DLC in Fallout 4. So let's first take a look at Vault 11 from Fallout New Vegas. This vault was a social experiment testing human nature, most specifically the ability to sacrifice oneself for others, and the ability to place ideals above one's own life. Vault 12 from Fallout 1. In order to study the effects of radiation on the selected population, the vault door was designed not to close properly. This is the Necropolis Vault, and a large population of ghouls was the result. Vault 21 from New Vegas. The vault's purpose was gambling, reinforced by having only compulsive gamblers admitted as vault residents, and with all conflicts within the vault to be resolved through gambling. Vault 29. No one in this vault was over the age of 15 when they entered. Parents were intentionally redirected to other vaults. Vault 34. The armory was overstocked with weapons and ammunition and not provided with a lock. The boomers actually descended from the inhabitants of this vault. Vault 43. Populated by 20 men, 20 women, and 1 panther. Vault 69. This vault had 1,000 people maximum, 999 women and 1 man. Vault 77, populated by 1 man and a crate full of puppets. The lone inhabitant of the vault went insane from the lack of human contact and eventually abandoned the vault after murdering one of the puppets. Vault 95, populated solely with drug addicts, with the exception of a single vault employee undercover. The vault residents would elect an overseer regularly and hold therapy sessions as part of a rehab program. 5 years after the vault was sealed, a hidden stash of drugs was unlocked. Within a few days, all of the vault residents but one fell back into addiction or killed each other. Vault 106, psychoactive drugs were released into the air filtration system 10 days after the door was sealed. And lastly, Vault 108 from Fallout 3. The vault houses a cloning lab and all surviving residents are clones of one man, Gary. Do you see what I mean about the fucked up shit that really went on in Fallout's vaults? Aside from the control vaults and other ones like Vault 101, which did have an experiment but didn't end too badly, aside from the Overseer going crazy. But nevertheless, there are some truly evil things that the Enclave performed as part of these Vault experiments, and if the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC is truly going to live up to its own name as a Vault-Tec Workshop DLC, and as a DLC that enables us to create our own Vault and to perform our own experiments, then the experiments that we can perform need to be on par with these. There can definitely be good and bad experiments, I don't mind that, but hopefully what I really want from this DLC is the ability to truly perform fucked up shit to the dwellers and to the settlers of the vault. And a number of different options in that regard, not just one evil experiment, but many. That's really what Fallout is about, and I know that sounds really messed up, but that is the reality of Fallout. Most of these vaults had a pretty fucked up experiment that went along with it, and a major way that I think this DLC can have legitimacy to it and actually be enjoyed by the fans because it's not necessarily a Far Harbor or Nuka World style DLC in being a big quest DLC with, a massive story underpinning it, is letting us really experiment on these settlers and do some really messed up shit. So I'd love to get your thoughts about this topic, guys. Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, this has been The Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and as always, keep fighting the good fight.